David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. This one's coming to you late today because it's been a fucking big day today. Fucking from the very beginning. I was in the deepest fucking sleep this morning. I was out. I was like 4 worlds down. I could have just stayed there forever. I was so deep that if I died in real life, I would have been just happy where I was for eternity. I was fucking that deep. And then I hear, choo! I'm like, no, please God, no. Choo! And I'm like back to surface level, and then I hear, choo! 3 fucking sneezes. I'm like, fuck. I'm awake now. My wife was sneezing. I wasn't happy about the sneezes, to be honest with you. She had some sort of dust allergy thing. Who cares? Cares what it is. It's still sneezing. I got in trouble as well for being grumpy about being dragged out of fucking the netherworld. She's like, do you even care that I have a dust allergy? I'm like, fucking, I care when it fucking affects me. I care when it disturbs my sleep. I can tell you that. Of course I care. Of course I care. When did you get the dust allergy? What the fuck is it? Like, what? It is pretty bad though. I do feel sorry for her, but fucking, can't you leave the room while I'm fucking deep sleep? Fucking do your triple sneezes out there. It was 3 sneezes bought me out, and then she like threw an extra 2 on top as well. It was fucking brutal. So that was the start of the day. Then I had Patreon shit to do. I hope everyone's fucking into the Patreon at the moment. I've been filming these video podcasts for the Patreon, and I'm actually fucking enjoying them. It adds a different element. You can make hand gestures and shit, and you can look into the camera and you just go, fucking, what's going on? And you can swing around on the chair a little bit, and it has meaning. It's just another skill. I haven't done the video podcasting before, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun. So that will just be a new thing I do every week forever. But that's exclusively for the Patreon. Anyway, I did that today. And then I had to make fucking pierogies. And I did the oppression chamber. But before and after the oppression chamber was pierogi time. And pierogies, for those of you who don't know what they are a Polish fucking dumpling. And they just take 4 fucking ever to make. My dad and his wife came around tonight, and it was his wife's 60th birthday, and my wife was like, yeah, we'll make pierogies. And when she says, we'll make pierogies, it means I'll make pierogies. I'll spend 8 hours making fucking pierogies. So that's what I did for most of the day, was make fucking pierogies. Made 50 of the cunts. It's like a once a year or twice a year thing because they're so fucking hard to make. It's so time consuming. But I'm the last one in the family that knows how to make them now. My nana was the only one who could make them, and somehow I learned how to make them. I don't know how it stuck because my nana used to teach me how to cook these things, and I used to sit there and watch her. But I used to be pretty drunk most of the time, but I was attentive. I did want to learn, so I do know how to make some of her classic dishes, but the pierogies was like the main thing. That was her fucking, I want to say pizza resistance, but I don't know how the fuck to say that or if that's even the right word. I would just say it's pizza resistance. It's her fucking pizza resistance. Pizza resistance. Is that even the thing? Anyway, it was her fucking classic dish. It was her signature fucking dish. A lot of hands used to get stabbed at the table when the last few pierogies were fucking left over. But I can make them pretty close to Nana. It's a very decent impersonation of my Nana's pierogies. They're not as good, but they're close-ish. They'll never be as good, but they're pretty close. She used to roast the lamb. Like she'd buy a leg of lamb, roast it properly, and then she would mince the meat herself. I just buy some shitty mince from the fucking butcher, which cuts out 3 or 4 fucking hours. Anyway, that was my fucking day. That was most of my day making pierogies. I'm heading to Queensland tomorrow as well. These holidays, they sound fucking good in theory, but Like getting there and getting back, that's 2 days. We're going for 6 days. The getting there is a nightmare and the getting back. So 2 of the 6 days are fucked already. And then you've got 4 days fucking chill. But this holiday is definitely for my wife more than me. She's been hanging for a getaway. I'm fucking cooked today. It's late and I'm over it. The fuck was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, toilet paper hat. This is the final installment of toilet paper hat. So, I go to pick up my son from school yesterday and he walks out of class and he's got his toilet paper hat on. I'm like, well, things couldn't have gone too bad, but it was fucking torn up. It didn't fucking last the day, that's for sure. There were no ears. It was just a couple of slices of toilet paper on the fucking hat now. And so he walks out and he's not exactly smiling. He's usually pretty smiley when he walks out of class and sees me. He definitely wasn't smiling yesterday. So he walks up to me and I go, oh, how was it today? So what happened with your hat? He's like, I'm never wearing a toilet paper hat again. I'm like, what happened? He's like, it was a dumb idea. It was a silly idea, Dada. I'm like, it was your idea. What are you talking about? And he's like, I'm going to have a son and then I'm going to make a toilet paper hat for him and I'm going to trick him and I'm going to make him put it on his head and go to school and he won't even know it's a toilet paper hat. I'm like, that's not what happened. I'm like, you can take the toilet paper hat off. Just because you've got it doesn't mean you have to wear it constantly. Like, you didn't have to put it on your head when you walked out of class just then. He's like, I'm never wearing a toilet paper hat again. I'm like, give it here. And then I put it on. I'm like, it's sick. I fucking love it. He's like, you wear it then. I'm like, yeah, I am wearing it. I'm like, so did everyone laugh? He's like, not really. He's like, some people laughed, but mainly people were like, is that toilet paper? I'm like, well, if you're going to be a comedian, you can't win them all. Not everything's going to land. Toilet paper hat didn't land. Toilet paper hat bombed. I'm like, what happened? He's like, people were just like, why have you got a toilet paper hat? I'm like, well, who are these fucking kids? It's toilet paper. It's funny. What's wrong with this generation? And I mean my generation who lets their kids go to school with a fucking toilet paper hat. But apparently the teacher was like, that's a lovely hat. Like he's an abused child or something. That's a lovely hat. Anyway, he learned a valuable lesson. He learned a few lessons. That's what I said to my wife when she was like, I fucking told you. I told you it was a dumb idea. I'm like, it's a valuable lesson. He learned a valuable lesson. And my wife was like, what's that? Don't trust your dad. I'm like, no. Like, if you're going to do some silly things, you're going to take some hits. They're not all going to land. You just get it back on the horse and you fucking continue with your work, your life's work. I said it to my son as well. I'm like, you learned a valuable lesson, didn't you? He's like, yeah, I'm never wearing a toilet paper hat again. I'm like, I have a funny feeling this isn't the last toilet paper hat you'll be wearing, son. I feel like this is just the beginning. Anyway, I fucking put a photo of the toilet paper hat up on the Patreon for the True Degennies. So if you want to check it out, if you're already a Patreon member, it's up now. If you're not, fucking buy Boyle a pint, get the new content, and yeah, the links to the Patreon are on my website, boylecomedy.com. So yeah, that will do for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.